Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I thought I would do a full face routine makeup using an eyeshadow that I haven't used in some time, as well as some new makeup items. So I don't use anything normally under my foundation, but today I thought I would use just a cream. I did already put, I guess I didn't put sunscreen yet, so I'll just put a little sunscreen and some lotion under it. But normally I don't really put anything primer under foundation. I used to just put primer under eyeshadow, but I guess I just put foundation everywhere, so the eyeshadow doesn't normally have an issue staying on. So first I'm going to put this Sea Eel Miracle Kelp Eye Cream. Let's see. I haven't used this in some time. I recently got out some face care items that I haven't used in some time or ever, and I figured I would start and this is vegan, cruelty free. Let me show you the front. This has water, aloe, coconut oil, lavender, chamomile, algae, jojoba, almond oil, vitamin C, organic licorice, yerba mate, witch hazel, grapeseed oil, shea butter. So definitely a lot of wonderful things. This is the foundation I'm going to be using today that fit me. Just going to pour a little. I do have a newer sunscreen, or a newer foundation, but I've just been going back to this one, but I think I'm going to start looking for another one because I haven't really been having good luck with coverage using these. Foundations. So I'll put a little foundation, the eye area, just to act as a primer. think that's good enough for now. I'm not going to be going anywhere, so I don't need full coverage. But this alone looks fine. And I guess it's okay if just a little bit of freckles show up. It is still a nice look. The shadow that I'm going to be using today is this Paradise Peach Scented eyeshadow. I haven't used it in quite some time, but it has really pretty colors that I think are really nice for any season, any look. It has a combination of matte and shimmer shades, so it has a peach scent. So I'm gonna just do a very light look. How appropriate, I'm wearing a peach top. So this is the pretty peach shade. So maybe I'll use a little of that to match my shirt. So for the matte, I think normally I use nudes or cream shades for the base and brow bone all over shadow, but recently I've been using grays, very light browns for my all over color. So I think I'm just going to continue with that, and I'm going to use this matte light brown. Let's see how light this is. I might put something else over it. I'll buff it out and put something lighter over it. So when I lighten it a little bit, it doesn't look as bold, so I think we can just leave it like that. I'm gonna put, I think I'm gonna do a very light matte cream shade over the brow bone just to lighten it up a little. I'm just trying to decide if I want a little bit of shimmer, that shimmer-like color. Maybe I will put a little bit just on the bone. I normally do brows first, but I guess it doesn't matter so much. I'm going to, don't mind the cat, start with my peach shade. So this is the peach shade, and I'm just gonna, so I have, I guess, hooded eyes, I guess. So I'm gonna put the peach shade up here. So instead of just doing it right here, because then when I close my eyes, you can't see it. So I'm just gonna raise it up a little bit. This is the shade. Start at the lid. Use a little more to go. Start at the lid. And then go up. And I keep my eyes open so I know where I'm putting it so it doesn't get covered up. There you go. And to kind of separate it a little, I want to put I was going to do a brown, but I wonder if that would end up erasing this peach shade. I think I'm going, let's see, lighter shade here, just on the inside. Then I usually like to put a little bit underneath, just to kind of correct it, I guess. Let me add the brows, because I think that'll make it come together. So I recently got a new brow pencil. A lot of my other brow pencils are very little stubs. I only use pencils, plain old cheap pencils. And what I like about pencils versus crayon or an ink marker type brow or eyeliner product is that I feel like I get more for my money just because I can sharpen it until it's a tiny little thing. And to me, that just, I get more product, I think, and it's a lot cheaper. And it works perfectly fine. And so I have here the brush. Let's just start brushing it. I like that a little brush comes along with this too, because normally some of the pencils, well, don't. So okay, we're gonna see how this shade works. I got this shade pretty much. This is the only shade that they had. This is a not bad. LA Colors brow pencil in soft brown. Pretty good. And I got this at Five Below. Change of scenery, sudden noise pollution. I think this works pretty well. And it does help that it's sharpened really well. That always makes it easier. But the shade, I think I chose a really nice shade for the brows. The brush is a little rough, but I figure if I just do it softly, it shouldn't. Okay, let me go get the rest of my stuff. Okay, I do have my eyeliner. So I have the black, and then I also have a brush that I use for my eyeliner that I think I'll ditch the black and just keep it super soft. I just sharpened it too, but it's just a basic pencil. I'm going to use this. This everywhere in here. A brown. I have this chocolate. Use this chocolate brown with my pencil for the eyeliner, just to keep it super soft. Instead of black, I might make it a little too rough. I'm not going to tightline like I normally used to do. I haven't done that in a little while now. I usually just put it right below, right on the lashes, right below the lash line. Just to give it a little more buffed out look. I think I need to a little more white there. There seems to be more white on this side. Okay. So I just feel like it gives it more of a buffed out look and more to this side. I do just right under. And then just start buffing it right away. Okay. So I think that's really nice and it matches my shirt. So now I'm going to be using my mascara. And the one that I've chosen is the brownish black. This is one of the newest. Well, I've used it many times before. I have a plain black, and then this one. I was looking for something brown, but this is the lightest I was able to find. I'm looking for a mascara that is a lot lighter, like an actual real brown shade, and I wasn't able to find it. Wonder if a purple would work. It's just something to bring out my eyes a little more instead of having such a bold black shade. I love this mascara because with only a few times putting it on, a couple times putting it on, it brings out a really nice length. And I like how the wand is nice and skinny to make it easier to use on the top and bottom without having to use a separate one for the bottom. There we go. I don't comb them out or anything just because I don't have that. And I don't use the lash curler thing because I don't have one of those either. I just kind of use plain old mascara and it works fine, I think. In this room is a lot more light than the bathroom, and it's showing up the freckles a lot more. I don't care to hide them. I would like a more finished look. Starting to get white spots from the sun. I could go ahead and powder, but I think I need to find a new powder because it leaves my skin very flaky and dry. So, but anywho, in the meantime, I'm gonna go grab my blush. For my blush, I'm actually just gonna run my blush brush across some of these pinks very lightly. And it usually works. And if it gets too pink, just run a little of the nude shades over it to kind of soften it a little bit. I have there we go. Now, my lips that I've chosen is going to be this nice mauve pink shade. This works pretty well. Perfect with this pink. Peachy shade. This is Sassy Mauve. I think it works perfectly with this peach color. Not too overpowering, doesn't take anything away from the eye look. Nice and soft. The powder that I'm using is the Fit Me 100 powder. It's dusted all around. So it lightens the nose a little bit. Just use a little bit. This is a good shade. Put it all around. Works really well with the foundation. I'm moving all over the place in here. So, like I was saying, the powder that I use is the 100 translucent powder. And from far away, it's interesting how in the different lights, different rooms, it's different looks. So this powder actually works really well. Let me see how it looks up front. So I do see a little dryness. I think it just picks up. Okay, a little more. But I really feel like it is a little drying. I'm going to add a little bit more blush, but I think we're all done here. Very light dusting of that peach shadow, I think works pretty well for a blush. I'm just gonna put it all over. So there you have. Oh, and I did put mascara, and I did put eyeliner, but it's very faint, so I almost thought I didn't. But in that case, I'm just gonna add a little darker brown shade because it seems to have disappeared a little. I do have a chocolate matte brown. There we go. Just kind of work with it a little. I think that's pretty good. So that's pretty good. The brows are very light. I think I normally have a pencil that is a little darker if I wanted. Now that it's actually different light from where I put it on, which I think is fine. I think it's okay to make it a little light. Just darken it a tad, but I don't think it. That's pretty good. Let me just make sure lined up well. I actually do like that it's a lighter pencil, so I can just add more where I see the need to, versus a darker pencil, where it would be very harder to work with. I think, especially with having light hair, I think it's best to just have a very light shade. So this actually came out really well. So yeah, this is just my peachy pink summer look. I think it turned out really well. So yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you found this relaxing. And I will see you